They're trying to make the team better. Everybody on the team is trying to get better. One of the things they're trying to do is keep Tua Tagovailoa healthier. We have talked multiple times this offseason about his efforts to learn how to fall without striking his helmet on the turf. He initially said that he is practicing judo. It's actually jiu-jitsu. Mike McDaniel cleared that up for us at the Scouting Combine. Here is McDaniel talking about Tua's experiences with and what he's gaining from the practice of jiu-jitsu.
The work that he's done this offseason, it was so obviously beneficial that we've incorporated it into some of our drill work that we'll do with the quarterbacks. When you think about it, you have so much coaching that goes into where you stand in the huddle, how you deliver the play call, your pre-snap process and how you diagnose things into the play. You're coaching all this stuff, and then you have a throw and an impending hit, and then we just stop talking. That's where my training was as a coach up until this point. And so training follow through and how to protect yourself while getting hit so that you can continue to play is something that's applicable for everyone.
Yeah, it's a great point, and it becomes even more clear when you've got a guy who's smaller, a guy who is taking those hits, and a guy who has had multiple concussions because of those hits. So they need to do it. It's necessity, and it's something that I think more teams should be looking at to avoid these issues. You don't want to wait and do it after you have a quarterback that has concussion issues because he's being hit after he's thrown the ball. You want to add that to the coaching, and it's an excellent point. You coach all the way through the throw, and then it's over. You need to coach beyond the throw, including what to do after a turnover. You need to coach beyond the throw. Lay down. Don't go try to make a tackle and ruin your season and our season in the process.
No, I mean, it is. It's he put it a good way. It's coaches are so detailed. They coach everything, right? And that's one area where, it's kind of gone like, it's part of the game, you hitting the ground, and it kind of got overlooked. And it's good to make that adjustment. You're right, they've had to make that adjustment, but I could see this being something that catches on. One of the most uncomfortable things about playing quarterback is I don't get hit or touched, and to wait, now I'm in a position where everybody wants to rip my head off and they're trying to knock me the hell out of the game, right? And you're like, whoa, it's the anxiousness of that, and what's it going to feel like to get hit, and man, I'm not conditioned to it. And, we've talked about this where, getting used to that, getting that first hit, getting a few hits and hitting the ground. Oh, okay, I remember what it feels like. Okay, I know how to get down or get out of harm's way here and all of that. And why not practice it a little bit? Why not? Why not take that part of the game out of it at the quarterback so you don't have to worry about it and think about it so much, leading up to that first preseason game?
We both pride ourselves on being, to a certain extent, football historians. I do not know when the game changed from the quarterback is out there as part of every other element of practice, every other player, to basically putting him in the equivalent of a Pope mobile on the field where no one can touch him.
Middle 80s,
when did that become a thing?
I feel like it was like early to middle 80s is when it really started to change. And I've heard stories like my dad, I think he had some training camps where the quarterback was live at a few times early on in his career where he was like, whoa, we're going live here, right? I feel like it got into maybe the Elway, Montana, Marino era there where it was like, whoa, hey, whoa, that's the franchise there. Get the F away from that guy. I feel like that, but I don't know that for sure. We got to look that up.
Yeah, because look, there was a time when, I remember in the 70s the shift from quarterback calling his own plays all the time to they took that away from him.
Right.
Tom Landry started shuttling in the receiver with the next play. They couldn't communicate. It would happen that way. Just the quarterback position changed, and it became more important, even though it became less important to the decisions made as to what the play is going to be. It became more important to the execution of those plays, and that's when teams started to put the quarterbacks in the red jerseys. And you're right, they're not ready to be hit. They're not ready to learn how to fall. That's one of the questions I had when we saw that Tua Tagovailoa was doing this, nothing you do is going to fully approximate what it's like to try to protect yourself in a game. So even the stuff he's doing now, it's still not the same.
No, it's not the same,
doing
but
it.
at least it's something. Yeah, right. It's not the same. Nothing can replicate the power of Myles Garrett hitting you around the edge. There's nothing that can do that in practice, or a coach with a pad or whatever else. But at least you can go through some of the body motions there and start to train and process in the brain a little bit the thoughts you should have as you're going to the ground or about to be hit.
There's a fine line between creative outside-the-box thinking and just plain nutty. But I can't help but wonder whether or not Mike McDaniel has pondered the possibility of having Tua live in some practices. Right? We want to get him ready. We want to know if this works. We don't want to find out if it works in week 1. I doubt that they would do it, because the last thing that McDaniel would want to have hanging on him is Tua got a concussion in practice because I took the red jersey off of him.
Right.
But I have to think McDaniel, a smart guy, has at least gone through what we just went through.
Yeah.
The mental gymnastics, pros and cons, pluses and minuses. And there are some pluses to it, but the minuses outweigh it, I think.
Yeah, I definitely. I think you're right. I think, for one, just, for Mike McDaniel's own sake, like you said, if that happened, I mean, it's going to be a lot of, distractions, answering questions, a fan base calling him calling him an idiot because, what are you doing letting Tua, get hit during practice, all that. Hopefully they can continue to find drills and things like that can be as good as it can get until you get out there for live action.
Yeah, and then you can't get Tom Brady either, because he's going to be an owner of the Raiders now. That would be awkward if he's playing for the Dolphins and he's a part owner of the Raiders. So that ship has sailed. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.